Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, we focus on honest, practical health information designed specifically for adults over 60. No hype, no gimmicks, just the kind of knowledge that actually helps you feel better day to day. Today, we are tackling one of the most common complaints I hear from seniors and their families: chronic gas, stubborn acidity, and that uncomfortable bloating that makes you feel 10 pounds heavier after a simple bowl of dal and rice or a sandwich and soup. Millions of older adults deal with this every single week, and the frustrating part? Most of them have been told the same vague explanation their entire lives: your digestion is weak, or just avoid spicy food. That advice barely scratches the surface. After 60, your digestive system goes through real, measurable changes. Understanding those changes, not just masking symptoms with antacids, is the difference between spending your evenings uncomfortable on the couch and actually enjoying your meals again. So, let's break this down properly, starting with the part almost everyone gets wrong. When most people say weak digestion, they imagine the stomach just isn't trying hard enough, like a lazy employee who needs motivation. But digestion is not one single event. It is a chain, a sequence of biological steps that starts the moment food touches your tongue and does not end until waste leaves your body, sometimes 30 to 40 hours later. When any single link in that chain breaks down, the result looks the same on the outside: gas, bloating, burning. But the fix depends entirely on which link actually failed. Let me walk you through what is really happening. Link number 1. Stomach acid production. This is the big surprise. Most people over 60 who experience acid reflux assume they produce too much stomach acid. Commercials for antacids have drilled that idea into our heads for decades. But research published in the American Journal of Gastroenterology tells a completely different story. As we age, the stomach lining gradually produces less hydrochloric acid, not more. The condition is called hypochlorhydria, and by age 70, a significant percentage of adults have meaningfully lower acid levels than they did at 40. Now, why does low acid cause symptoms that feel like too much acid? Because hydrochloric acid serves as the gatekeeper. It breaks proteins apart. It kills bacteria riding in on your food. It signals a small muscular valve at the top of your stomach, called the lower esophageal sphincter, to stay shut. When acid levels drop, that valve gets sloppy. Even a small amount of acid sloshes upward into your esophagus, where it does not belong, and you feel a burn. The acid itself might be modest in quantity, but your esophagus is incredibly sensitive. A teaspoon of stomach acid in the wrong place feels like a bonfire. So here is the cruel irony: reaching for an antacid at that moment lowers your acid even further, which weakens the valve even more, which sets you up for worse reflux next time. A vicious circle disguised as relief. Link number 2, enzyme decline. Your pancreas releases digestive enzymes: lipase to handle fats, protease to handle proteins, amylase to handle starches. After 60, enzyme output often decreases. That means food sits in your stomach and upper intestine longer than it should, partially broken down, fermenting. Fermentation produces gas, carbon dioxide, hydrogen, sometimes methane. That gas has to go somewhere. It pushes outward against your abdominal wall, creating bloating. It pushes upward, causing belching. It moves downward, causing flatulence. 3 symptoms, 1 mechanical cause: food rotting instead of digesting. Link number 3, your gut bacteria. Inside your large intestine live trillions of microorganisms: bacteria, fungi, other microbes, collectively called the gut microbiome. In a healthy gut, beneficial bacteria outnumber harmful ones, and they help ferment fiber, produce vitamins, and regulate inflammation. But decades of processed food, antibiotic courses, stress, and the natural aging process can shift that balance. Harmful bacteria multiply, beneficial strains thin out. When the wrong bacteria dominate, they produce excessive gas, even from foods that should be easy to digest. Some seniors notice they bloat from plain bread or a banana, foods that never bothered them at 40. The food did not change. The bacterial landscape inside their gut did. So when someone says your digestion is weak, what they are really saying, without knowing it, is that one or more of these three links, acid, enzymes, or microbiome, has shifted, and each one requires a different approach to fix. Beyond those three core links, several other root causes fly under the radar. Let me highlight the ones I see most often overlooked. Medications. If you are over 60, there is a reasonable chance you take at least one prescription medication daily. Many common drugs directly affect digestion. Blood pressure medications, particularly calcium channel blockers, can relax the esophageal sphincter and worsen reflux. Non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs like ibuprofen irritate the stomach lining, reducing its protective mucus layer. Iron supplements are notorious for causing constipation, which backs up the entire system and amplifies bloating. Even certain diabetes medications produce gas as a known side effect. Nobody is suggesting you stop your medications, but understanding which pills might be contributing to your digestive trouble means you can talk to your doctor about timing adjustments, alternative formulations, or protective add-ons. Knowledge here is genuinely powerful. Slow motility. Motility is the medical word for the muscular contractions that push food through your digestive tract, a rhythmic squeezing called peristalsis. After 60, those contractions often weaken and slow down. Food takes longer to travel. The longer food sits, the more gas bacteria produce from it. Slow motility is worsened by dehydration, low physical activity, and low fiber intake. Three factors that frequently combine in seniors who spend most of the day sitting and do not drink enough water because their thirst signals have dulled with age. Your brain literally becomes worse at telling you that you are thirsty, so you drink less. Your colon absorbs more water from stool to compensate. Everything slows, everything ferments, everything bloats. Stress and the gut-brain axis. This one surprises people. Your gut contains roughly 500 million nerve cells, sometimes called the second brain. These nerve cells communicate directly with your actual brain through a pathway called the vagus nerve. When you are anxious, grieving, lonely, or chronically stressed, and let's be honest, aging brings all of those emotions at various times, your brain sends signals that alter gut motility, acid secretion, and bacterial balance simultaneously. Many seniors who develop new digestive problems after losing a spouse or moving into a new living situation are not imagining their symptoms. The grief literally changed how their gut operates. Emotional health and digestive health share the same wiring. Small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, often called SIBO. Under normal circumstances, your small intestine houses relatively few bacteria compared to your large intestine. But when motility slows or acid drops, bacteria migrate upward and colonize the small intestine where they do not belong. Once there, they feast on food that arrives partially digested, producing enormous volumes of hydrogen and methane gas. SIBO causes bloating so severe that some seniors look visibly pregnant after meals. It also causes alternating diarrhea and constipation, fatigue, and even nutritional deficiencies because the misplaced bacteria steal nutrients before your body absorbs them. SIBO is dramatically underdiagnosed in older adults. A simple hydrogen breath test at a gastroenterologist's office can identify it, yet most seniors suffering from it have never even heard the term. If you are over 60 or caring for an elderly loved one, please take a moment to really absorb this information, because understanding these hidden causes is genuinely the first step toward lasting relief, not just another temporary fix. Now let's talk about food, because no matter which root cause is driving your symptoms, what you eat and how you eat still matters enormously. But I want to go beyond the usual, avoid oily and spicy food advice. You have heard that 1,000 times. Let's get specific. Foods that commonly trigger gas and bloating in seniors, and why. Cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, Brussels sprouts. These are nutritionally excellent, packed with fiber, vitamins, cancer-fighting compounds, but they contain a sugar called raffinose that human enzymes cannot break down. Gut bacteria handle the job instead, and they produce gas doing it. Does that mean you should stop eating broccoli? Absolutely not. It means you should cook it thoroughly, steaming, or roasting breaks down some of that raffinose before it reaches your gut. And eat moderate portions rather than an entire plate at once. Beans and lentils carry the same raffinose issue, amplified. Soaking dried beans overnight and discarding the soaking water removes a measurable portion of gas-producing sugars. Canned beans, already pre-soaked during processing, tend to cause less trouble. Adding a small strip of dried kombu seaweed while cooking beans, an old Japanese kitchen trick, further breaks down those complex sugars. Small, consistent servings also train your gut bacteria to handle legumes more efficiently over time. The worst approach is avoiding beans for months and then eating a large serving at a family gathering. Your microbiome has no preparation for that ambush. Dairy deserves special mention. Lactase, the enzyme that digests milk sugar, declines naturally with age. Many seniors who drank milk comfortably at 30 find it causes cramping and gas at 65. This is not an allergy. It is enzyme depletion. Fermented dairy products like plain yogurt, kefir, and aged cheeses contain far less lactose because bacteria have already consumed most of it during fermentation. Switching from a glass of milk to a cup of yogurt can eliminate the problem entirely for many people without sacrificing calcium intake. Carbonated drinks, sodas, sparkling water, even some kombucha products introduce carbon dioxide gas directly into your stomach. If you already struggle with bloating, drinking carbonation is like adding air to an already overfilled tire. Plain water, herbal teas, or water infused with cucumber and mint serve you far better. Artificial sweeteners, sorbitol, mannitol, xylitol, found in sugar-free gum, sugar-free candies, and many diet products draw water into the intestine through osmosis and feed gas-producing bacteria aggressively. A senior chewing 2 or 3 pieces of sugar-free gum daily might not connect that habit to their evening bloating, but the link is well documented. Now, what actively helps? Ginger. Fresh ginger root is one of the most studied natural digestive aids in existence. It accelerates gastric emptying, meaning food leaves your stomach faster, giving bacteria less time to ferment it. Gingerols, the active compounds, also relax intestinal spasms. Grating a thumb-sized piece of fresh ginger into hot water and sipping it 15 minutes before a meal is a simple, inexpensive habit with genuine clinical backing. Not ginger ale. Most commercial ginger ales contain almost no real ginger. Fresh root, grated or sliced thinly, steeped in near boiling water for 5 to 8 minutes. Fennel seeds. Chewing half a teaspoon of fennel seeds after meals is a tradition across Mediterranean and South Asian cultures for good reason. Fennel contains anethol, a compound that relaxes smooth muscle in the gastrointestinal tract, allowing trapped gas to pass rather than accumulate. You can also brew fennel tea by crushing a teaspoon of seeds and steeping them in hot water for 10 minutes. The taste is mildly sweet, faintly like licorice, and most people find it pleasant. Apple cider vinegar, raw, unfiltered, with the cloudy mother culture visible in the bottle. 1 tablespoon diluted in a full glass of room temperature water, taken 10 to 15 minutes before your largest meal, can gently stimulate stomach acid production. Remember our earlier discussion. Many seniors have too little acid, not too much. Apple cider vinegar nudges production upward just enough to improve protein breakdown and valve function. A word of caution, never drink it undiluted. The acetic acid concentration can damage tooth enamel and irritate your esophagus. Always dilute. Always use a straw if your teeth are sensitive. Fermented foods, plain yogurt, traditionally fermented sauerkraut, the refrigerated kind, not the shelf-stable pasteurized jars, kimchi, miso paste, kefir, introduce beneficial bacteria directly into your gut. Think of them as reinforcements arriving to support your existing good bacteria. A small serving daily, even just 2 tablespoons of sauerkraut alongside dinner, adds up over weeks. Gut bacterial populations shift measurably within 14 to 21 days of consistent fermented food intake. Patience matters here. You are rebuilding an ecosystem, not flipping a switch. Bitter greens, arugula, dandelion greens, endive, radicchio, stimulate bile production in the liver. Bile emulsifies dietary fat, breaking large fat droplets into tiny ones so that lipase enzymes can reach them. If fatty meals make you feel heavy and nauseous, insufficient bile flow might be the bottleneck. Starting a meal with a small salad of bitter greens essentially primes your liver's pump before the main course arrives. How you eat matters as much as what you eat. Chewing. This sounds almost insultingly basic, but it is perhaps the single most impactful change a senior can make. Most adults chew each bite somewhere between 5 and 10 times before swallowing. Digestion experts recommend 25 to 30 chews for solid food. Chewing breaks food into smaller particles, increasing the surface area available to stomach acid and enzymes. Saliva, released during prolonged chewing, contains amylase that begins starch digestion right there in your mouth. Swallowing large chunks forces your stomach to do mechanical work it was never fully designed for, especially when acid levels have already declined. Meal size and timing. 3 large meals overload a sluggish digestive system. 4 or 5 smaller meals spread the workload. Eating your largest meal at midday rather than in the evening aligns with your body's natural enzyme production cycle, which peaks during daylight hours and tapers after dark. A heavy dinner at 8 o'clock meets your gut at its least prepared moment. Shifting even a portion of your evening calories to lunch can reduce nighttime reflux dramatically. Posture during and after meals. Slouching compresses the abdomen and physically squeezes the stomach, encouraging acid to splash upward. Sitting upright, shoulders over hips, feet flat on the floor, gives your organs room. After eating, remain upright for at least 30 to 45 minutes. Lying down immediately after a meal is one of the most reliable triggers for acid reflux, yet many seniors eat dinner and head straight to bed or recline in a favorite chair. A gentle 10-minute walk after eating stimulates motility and helps gas move through the system instead of pooling and expanding. Beyond food, a few daily habits directly influence how well your gut functions. Water intake. Aim for 6 to 8 glasses of water throughout the day, not all at once, and not during meals. Drinking large amounts of water with food dilutes stomach acid and enzymes right when you need them concentrated. Sip small amounts during meals if you need to, and do your heavier hydration between meals. First thing in the morning, a full glass of lukewarm water on an empty stomach gently activates peristalsis and tells your entire digestive tract that the day has begun. Movement. You do not need to run marathons. A 20-minute walk after your main meal does more for gas and bloating than most over-the-counter remedies. Walking engages your core muscles, which physically massage the intestines from the outside, encouraging contents to move along. Gentle yoga poses, particularly twists where you rotate your torso left and right while seated, and the wind-relieving pose where you lie on your back and hug one knee to your chest, are specifically designed to release trapped gas. They work. They are free. They take 5 minutes. Sleep position. If nighttime acid reflux disrupts your sleep, elevating the head of your bed by 4 to 6 inches, using a foam wedge under the mattress or sturdy risers beneath the bed frame's front legs, uses gravity to keep acid in the stomach where it belongs. Stacking extra pillows bends your neck awkwardly without actually elevating your esophagus enough. The entire upper body needs the incline. Sleeping on your left side also helps because of how the stomach is anatomically positioned. On your left side, the esophageal opening sits above the pool of stomach acid. On your right side or your back, acid reaches that opening more easily. Stress management. Remember the gut-brain connection we discussed. Whatever calms your nervous system calms your gut. Deep breathing exercises. Inhaling through your nose for 4 seconds, holding for 4, exhaling through your mouth for 6, activate the vagus nerve and shift your body from fight or flight mode into rest and digest mode. The name itself tells you what happens. Digestion literally improves when your nervous system relaxes. 5 minutes of intentional breathing before meals prepares your gut to receive food efficiently. It sounds too simple to work, and yet clinical studies consistently confirm the effect. Most gas, acidity, and bloating in seniors stems from the manageable causes we have discussed. Dietary adjustments, lifestyle shifts, and patience resolve the majority of cases. But certain red flags require prompt medical evaluation, and I would not feel right ending this video without naming them clearly. See your doctor if you experience unintentional weight loss alongside digestive symptoms, losing 5 or more pounds without trying over a 2 to 3 month period. See your doctor if you notice blood in your stool, whether bright red on the toilet paper or dark, tar-like stool that smells unusually foul. Dark stool can indicate bleeding higher in the digestive tract and warrants investigation. See your doctor if swallowing becomes difficult or painful, if food feels like it sticks partway down your chest. This could indicate esophageal narrowing or inflammation that requires evaluation. See your doctor if bloating is constant, not just after meals, but present from morning to night, worsening over weeks rather than fluctuating. Persistent progressive bloating in a senior, particularly a woman over 60, should be evaluated to rule out ovarian or abdominal conditions. See your doctor if you develop new digestive symptoms after starting a medication. Bring the medication bottle to the appointment. Sometimes the solution is as straightforward as switching to an extended-release formulation or adjusting the timing of when you take the pill relative to meals. These warning signs do not automatically mean something serious, but they deserve professional attention rather than home management. Let's pull this together. Gas, acidity, and bloating after 60 are not just weak digestion. They are signals, specific identifiable signals, from a digestive system experiencing lower stomach acid, reduced enzyme output, shifting gut bacteria, slower motility, medication effects, or emotional stress reverberating through the gut-brain axis. Sometimes several of these at once. The conventional approach, pop an antacid and avoid chili peppers, addresses a fraction of the picture. Real relief comes from understanding which link in your digestive chain needs support and targeting it directly. Fresh ginger before meals, thorough chewing. Smaller portions at midday instead of large dinners at night. Fermented foods rebuilding your microbial landscape 1 tablespoon at a time. Walking after meals, breathing before them, elevating your bed, drinking water between meals instead of during them. None of these changes require a prescription. None of them cost much money. All of them respect your body's actual biology rather than fighting against it. You have spent 60, 70, maybe 80 years relying on this body. It has carried you through everything. Now it is asking for a little more attention, a little more care, a few adjustments to match the season of life you are in. That is not weakness. That is wisdom. The kind that comes from listening instead of just swallowing another pill and hoping for the best. If this information helped you understand your body a little better today, tap that subscribe button so you do not miss our next video. We cover practical senior health topics every single week with this same honest, no-nonsense approach. Share this video with a family member, a spouse, a friend, anyone over 60 who clutches their stomach after dinner and says, "It's just my digestion." Maybe this is the video that finally gives them real answers. Drop a comment below and tell me, which of these root causes do you think might be behind your symptoms? I read every single comment, and your experiences help shape the topics we cover next. Take care of yourself. Your gut is talking to you, and now you know how to listen.